Hello, my dear people, and this is Ayushi Verma. Today, let's talk about addiction. So, the first image that comes to your mind when you think about addiction would be someone who's up in a dark alley snorting cocaine or injecting heroin into themselves, someone who's into alcohol day and night, right? यही images हमारे दिमाग में conjure up होती हैं जब भी हम addiction के बारे में सुनते हैं. But recently, while I used to think the same thing, कि addicts are typically bad people, that's the kind of image that we have formed around them. When I stumbled upon a very, very interesting and insightful video by Gabor Maté about addiction and addiction to power. That's the name of the video. It's so insightful and it's so eye-opening that it made me realize that all of us as human beings are addicted to something or the other. And a person who is an addict, that is not their entire personality. So, हमारी specific bad habits, right, जो हमें पसंद नहीं है अपने बारे में, which is an addiction obviously. We do not like ourselves scrolling through Instagram the entire day. And we do not like ourselves indulging into consumerism headlong. This is why जब भी हम किसी addict को अपने सामने देखते हैं, हम ये समझते हैं कि हमारी जो बैड हैबिट्स है ना, वो like somebody is showing a mirror in front of us, right? और वो हेट्रेड जो हम फील करते हैं, वो कहीं ना कहीं हमारी खुद के लिए जो हमारी बैड फीलिंग्स हैं वो मल्टीप्लाई होके बाहर आती हैं. So this is why rather than letting society dictate us, people in power dictate us कि हमारे लिए क्या सही है, क्या गलत है, जो हम कर रहे हैं वो गलत है, हमें ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. जो बैड फीलिंग्स है ना, जितनी भी हमारे अंदर है, वो बहुत सारी चीजें comes from the environment. That is why it becomes important to invest in ourselves, in our mental health. Once we become kinder to ourselves, we become kinder to other people, right? कहीं ना कहीं ये मैंने अपने साथ देखा है, because if I talk to you about my journey, when I was in 11th, 12th, college, I had such a strong moral compass. मतलब black or white, या तो ये ऐसे है या फिर ये वैसे है. Somebody is smoking a cigarette, taking weed, they are just bad people, you know, just people who don't have control over themselves. मैं तो ऐसी नहीं हूँ. But when I tried to understand it more deeply, I realized कि कहीं ना कहीं हम सब वैसे हैं, हम सब किसी ना किसी चीज से एडिक्टेड है. क्या एक इंसान अल्कोहल लेने से बुरा बन जाता है? क्या एक इंसान वीड स्मोक करने से खराब हो जाता है? That's such a skewed narrative. It's not just Gabor Maté's video, but also this specific book called The Blue Sisters that really forced me to think about addiction in a very larger space rather than just focusing on it being substance abuse. That is what we as psychologists call it. Addiction inherently एक coping mechanism है, जैसे कि we cope to our environments using those devices. और क्या हम सभी किसी ना किसी चीज से addicted नहीं है? Like we are addicted to consumerism, which is very bad for the planet, but we cannot stop ourselves from buying every dress that we see on social media. We are addicted to technology because we cannot imagine our days without endlessly scrolling on Instagram or on YouTube. तो हम content से addicted हैं. हर इंसान किसी ना किसी चीज से addicted है, because they want to ease that pain that they feel these days. We're in a generation where it has become a norm to compare ourselves to others, to work on a lot of materialistic things, like I would say. The society dictates our moves a lot more these days. और कहीं ना कहीं ये सब इतना overwhelming हो जाता है that we get addicted to stuff and it becomes a coping mechanism. So rather than seeing an addict just as a person who's a substance abuser and understanding their personality throughout it entirely, I think we should focus on the fact that they're first human beings who have had complex histories, who've had a lot of pain in their lives, जिसको वो drug addiction के through हटाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. What's saddening to see these days is that psychologists and people at rehabs who are there to help these people treat them very inhumanly. I know a lot of drug abusers and people do things that are very evil in nature, I would say. But your friends, your families, people who you know are good people on the inside, rather than judging them for their choices, we should at least try and help them. Understand them first as human beings, rather than just labeling them as substance abusers.